The example of this is where Gunnar really turned it on. Gunnar's strength really comes from the opposite field. That's where his bread and butter is. And early in the season, I'm going to show some examples where Gunnar not necessarily was feeling himself. But as you'll see the progression of these videos, Gunnar got better and better, and ultimately is a big reason why he became one of the best players in the American League and Major League Baseball. And then on top of it, he also is proving why he will be an MVP candidate for this season. Can I back up a little bit for a second, Brad, so we can get this? All right, this first video here, by the way, this is Gunnar, a pitch that he likes to drive. And I know it's 5-0 game, but nobody on, 2 outs. And this is early in the season, by the way. So if you watch this, we're going to freeze it for a second. Whammy. That's a very good pitch to hit, and that's Gunnar's sweet spot. And actually, you might think secondly when we talk about it more, but that's number 1. This is a tough pitch. It's a pitcher's pitch. But again, the reason why, and you'll see it down the stretch, Gunnar takes that pitch, right? And if we rewind it one more time, Gunnar Henderson, right there, man, and he's going to sit there, and he's probably going to go, man, that kind of felt like it was a little bit further off the plate, right? But to be honest, Gunnar's momentum for me, he kind of felt like he was pulling off the baseball a little bit, and that's his strength, okay? So when Gunnar is able to be on, that's where hitters or pitchers don't know how to deal with him. So you see those 2 examples, right? This is where the moment for Gunnar Henderson changed for the season. So you saw those 2 pitches. Those pitches are strikes. Those are pitchers' pitches for the most part. At least one of them is. The game in Milwaukee is the one I'm specifically talking about. And let's pull this one up here. All right. Milwaukee Brewers. They're down 1 run, 2 outs in the 8th inning. And Gunnar Henderson comes up with the biggest swing of the game. And after this is really where Gunnar started to turn it on. All right, so you can back it up for a second, Brad. Ready? So right here, I'm going to freeze it. That pitch right there, if we're going to look at this, that's a good 6 inches off the plate. That's 6, 8 inches off the plate. But you saw before that Gunnar's taking those pitches away. And that's somewhat of a problem, right? But the reason why Gunnar is so explosive on this is because he does this. That's a 93-mile-an-hour pitch off the plate, and only maybe 10 players in major leagues can hit the ball to the opposite field like he can. And that was a monumental part of the game. Again, if you want to look at the context of the game, 3-2, no outs, first pitch swinging. And sometimes when you're a little bit hesitant, that's why I was bringing up the point of Gunnar taking pitches right here, is because when you're not feeling yourself, you're not going to be as aggressive. When you're feeling good and you're feeling frisky, you let it eat, and you let it eat early and often. And what's Gunnar do? He lets it eat, and it doesn't matter if the pitch is off the plate, because when you're that talented, you let your skills take over. Gunnar Henderson's skills take over. You think that that's impressive. He faced the Mets, and this one to me, I don't know how the hell he hit this ball, okay? Mets, pitch away, freeze it. Oh, we didn't freeze it in time. Ready, freeze. Do you understand how ridiculous this is? That pitch is even in the other batter's box. But for Gunnar Henderson, when you're able to stay on the ball long enough, every pitcher is going to curse you out with every word in the book when you do shit like this. And for Gunnar Henderson, this is the part later in the season where he just became so unstoppable as a hitter, because you couldn't beat him in, and then you definitely couldn't beat him away. And again, I'm prefacing, that's a changeup away. That's a pitcher's pitch, 0-2 count, and Gunnar Henderson sticks his ass out, hey, how you doing, and base hit. And the pitcher's probably sitting there going, what the hell? How do I get you out? How do I get you out?
And then he just turns it into a double.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's what Gunnar Henderson can do. This one to me is also impressive. You're facing one of the best pitchers in the game. You saw him on that list, Kevin Gausman, by the way. How about this? 1-0 pitch, Gunnar not flinching at all. Fastball down and away. And see at this location right here. Gausman's ball runs, and it runs like a you-know-what. So when it goes down there, you got to go with it. And what's Gunnar do? He shoots that puppy the other way. And that ball is torched. And that's what I try to tell people why this kid is so special, is because some hitters really don't like going the other way. Mm-hmm. Gunnar Henderson, it's not a, maybe I'll hit a couple balls the other way. It's, I'm going to absolutely torch balls the other way. And that's something that you can't teach to a lot of players. A lot of people like to hit the ball pull side, or if they're, right center, left center, depending on if you're righty or lefty. Gunnar Henderson is unstoppable when he can do things like this. And this is one of the best pitchers in the game. Cy Young candidate, Kevin Gausman. This is what's going to make him special. Jackson Holiday has that in him too, by the way. Jackson will hit the ball wherever you want. But if you see the authority that Gunnar is driving the baseball, and if you look at how much he's staying on the baseball, if he does this again this year, Gunnar Henderson's going to hit towards 300, and Gunnar Henderson's probably going to be the MVP of the league. That is my opinion. He is that dynamic. And the fun thing is, and I appreciate you guys sticking with me on this, we have so much more of these videos to come, by the way. And the last one, just for fun, I'll pull it up. And then we're getting out of here. Again, another guy, this is Kirby, one of the best pitchers in the league for the Seattle Mariners. Fastball away, 98 miles an hour, by the way. Again, what do you want to do? Perfect pitch. Perfect pitch. But guess what? Gunnar can be a perfect hitter. Nothing you can do about that. Gunnar has another extra base hit. And this is what just makes him so special, is that no pitcher, even when they do their strength against your strength, Gunnar is proving that he can win it more times than not. And then he's hitting with, what was it, the sprinklers, Zach?